Ipsos released its largest ever public survey featuring over 5 million data points. To explore these findings from a Hong Kong perspective, we are joined by Adrian Lowe from Ipsos. Adrian, based on your findings, what's happening in the Hong Kong business landscape today?
According to our Global Trend Report, which is a comprehensive study that has been tracking attitudes, values, and behavior globally since 2014. And as you mentioned, this year we have conducted over 50,000 interviews, collecting millions of data points across 50 markets. Specifically in the APAC region, we have interviewed more than 10,000 individuals across 50 markets, and alone in Hong Kong, we did about 1,000 individual interviews. And in Hong Kong, our finding indicated that with the complex environment influenced by global geopolitical factors, economic pressures, and technological advancement, consumer confidence and optimism are currently quite low. This is mirroring the broader trend across Asia. And in Hong Kong, the data shows that 26% and only 26% of the respondents expressing that they are optimistic about the role in large in the future. It is a little bit lower than the rest of the APACs, but it's much lower compared to some of the developing economies in APAC. Now, with such low confidence, it is important to keep in mind that consumers in Hong Kong may opt to push back large and long-term purchases or continue to be more frugal when it comes to discretionary spending. Now, however, all is not really doom and gloom. In contrast to this pessimism, people are increasingly more turning inward to themselves, focusing on aspects in their lives that they can actually control, such as personal well-being, family, and the immediate environment. This shift reflects a me-first mindset where autonomy and simplicity are prioritized as key coping mechanisms for them.
How is the shift toward individualism shaping consumption habits?
In our research, we have seen that among various values as consumers associated with individualism, autonomy, simplicity, curiosity, and status are the most pronounced value driving this trend. Personal autonomy, in particular, stands out as the most powerful value we have measured. And in Hong Kong, 79% of respondents identify autonomy as a core value for them. This strong desire for autonomy reflects that a broader shift toward self-determination and control over personal choices, whether you talk about lifestyle, work, and consumption habits. This is especially true amongst the Gen Z and the millennials. For these demographics, purchasing product is not really just about owning the product or the ownership, but it is really about finding the experience that cater to their individuality and allowing them to express themselves, especially through social media. Our data shows that 55% of Hong Kong respondents, and especially those within the Gen Z and millennial age group and those with high income and education level, prefer purchasing products or experiences that they believe will look good on photos that they post online. And this highlights the importance of digital aesthetics and shareability for these consumers. To successfully engage in these kind of audience, brands in Hong Kong needs to focus on hyper-personalization and creating visually appealing and shareable experiences. It is really about providing individuality without isolation, helping consumers showcase their identity in a way that feels authentic, inclusive, and socially connected is the ultimate goal for business.
The report mentioned that trust in institutions is at a low point, Adrian. How can organizations rebuild confidence?
Indeed, trust in institution has reached quite a low point globally, not just Hong Kong. And according to our report, only 44% of the people worldwide trust business leaders in telling the truth. And that's pretty low. In APAC, as an average, this figure is slightly higher at 52%, indicates slightly more confidence in the business leader in the region. However, in Hong Kong, the level of trust is significantly lower, with only 37% of respondents expressing trust in business leaders. This trend is somewhat alarming, and is particularly pronounced among the low-income groups and individuals aged 35 and above, who tend to be more skeptical about the intention of business leaders. Our data shows that, with the exception of those in the age 25 to 34, over half of those surveyed are concerned about what companies or government know about them online. And to effectively leverage technology successfully, businesses need to really engage target customers to understand their point of view. Now, finally, another way to rebuild trust is to really through community involvement. And this is about whether it's supporting local businesses, investing in community projects, or even creating opportunities that directly benefit these demographics. Demonstrating genuine impact and being consistent in messaging can gradually rebuild credibility and trust, especially among those who have become disillusioned. Now, ultimately, trust is earned by showing that business are not just about making profit, but are invested in the well-being and the future of the local population.
Thank you very much for your time today, Adrian.
Thank you, Simon. I'm really glad to be here, and thank you for inviting us.
Again, that was Adrian Lowe, Head of Business Consulting at Ipsos Hong Kong. For more news, please visit hongkongbusiness.com.